What's going on, everybody? Welcome back for the 33rd episode of the Fresh in the Feed podcast. My name's Matt, his name's Adrian, and we're freshing your feed so you don't have to. John Cena. Matthew Carino's like teleport.
There's the berries, not people.
Let's go! Okay, Belfrutto, it's been a while.
It's been a long time, bro.
Long time. Let everybody know where they can hit you up on social media and things like that first before we get into...
Right off the bat, I don't even know, man. Adrean Belfrutto, bro.
Follow it on Instagram.
On Instagram.
Yeah.
Facebook, Adrean Belfrutto.
That's all good.
That's it, man.
So yeah, it's been a long time. We're just catching up a little. Last time we probably saw each other was high school, no? We haven't seen each other outside. Besides,
I passed you here and there.
Yeah, here and there.
Yeah, but not for a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. The reason why I had you on with the DM you is because we're going to get into it a little more after, but your Instagram, number one, first, and you yourself, the way you've been acting on things, has been like super inspirational for me, and I've seen it like crazy all over the place, like with your stories and your posts and things like that. Mm-hmm. So I really wanted to like sort of not give you a platform, but I really wanted to have you on just to explain some of the things that you go through, right? And you talk about on the daily. To start, I just want to know, like, I've heard it from other people. Actually, a good friend of ours, Beans, he happens to know. What's sort of like your daily like schedule? Because I've heard of like Beans has told me like a sort of like cliff notes of it, but I see you waking up early and things like that. I want to know what like is your day, like your day you're going through right now.
It's not really that complex. It's just like I wake up early.
Yeah.
Hop into some reading. After the reading, I usually hit the gym. After the gym, come back, eat, and then go to work. It's like a simple process. Yeah. It's not too.
Just for reference, what time is like waking up early?
4:45. Roughly.
Yeah, I knew Matt was gonna make a face. That's why I said that. Yeah. So like obviously that's something that sparks people's attention, right? Like 4:40, 4:30, 5 o'clock even. If you're not going to work and you're getting up, you're doing all these things for yourself, right? I want to know, like, has there ever been a day where 4 o'clock has been way too early? Because I know you speak about it, I know you talk about it. I want to know, like, is like 4 o'clock is like, holy fuck me, why am I doing this?
Yeah, no, of course, man. You're gonna have tough times where it's difficult to wake up. You know, there's gonna be nights where you stay out way later than you should.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you try your best at that point because like that's what builds character. You know what I mean? Like I'm one of those guys. There's like sometimes I don't want to get out of bed. Sometimes I'm on like 3 hours, 2 hours of sleep, but I want to do it only because I know what it does for me.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
Don't get me wrong. I slip up. Like I'm human. Everyone, you know, can't consistently put out like that.
Yeah.
Or maybe they can. Just I find it hard sometimes, but for the most part, I'm pretty consistent.
Yeah. So like, you said you get up, you waking up early, and you start with a reading. What you're reading is sort of. Is it very particular? Like, is it something that is it different articles or a different book, or is it the same sort of book that you're reading every day?
Usually it's a cycle of books. So I've pretty much what I read is like stoic books. So I read books by like Marcus Aurelius, who is like a Roman emperor, and it's basically based off Stoicism. I read other books like even like the one I'm reading now is like seven Habits of the Highly Effective.
Okay,
I believe that's the title. I could be wrong, but that's something along the lines. But I just try to read books that, like.
This is correct, by the way.
It is.
Yeah.
That
highly effective people, highly effective teens.
There you go.
Something of the
sort. Yeah.
Yeah, just to get my frame of mind right. Because you're so vulnerable in the morning. Like when you're in the morning, I'm the freshest in terms of like my mental state.
Yeah.
So right off the bat, I just fill it with like positivity, right off the jump.
Yeah.
And that sets the tone for the remainder of the day, right? And then you hop into the workout. The workout's huge. The workout's pretty much like all the base work. Once you get the workout out of the way,
you're flying.
You feel like $1 million.
Yeah, I get that.
It's like the biggest hack in life.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah, I understand that.
That's why.
Yeah, that's crazy for me to like understand though. Not being a morning person at all, right? Like I'm exactly the opposite of a morning person. Just because like I'm always up late. Whether it's just like the way my schedule works out or whatever, like I sort of choose that, right? Like I choose that schedule, that lifestyle. Whether it's I work till 11 and then I'm up doing homework or watching fucking YouTube videos. Like I'm not gonna lie and say I'm always doing homework. I'm always doing something productive at 3 a.m, right? I'm either watching TikToks, YouTube videos, shit like that. So it's sort of a want also rather than rather than like, oh, I'm always up late, like I get unlucky, you know, like, you know what I mean? Like it's just sort of like something I want also, just because I enjoy that late time. But the morning is something that like people don't look at. Like when I get up in the fucking morning, if I have to work, like it's just like I'm up, like I don't really do anything. I just get up and go to work, or I get up and go to school, or I get up and right. There's not really like, at least people I've come in contact with don't most of the time don't have a routine other than they get dressed, they get whatever, and they go to work, right? So it's kind of like extraordinary, like seeing this different, like entirely different like schedule or regime, right at the beginning of the day. But that's something that like I number one I admire, because I just don't think, number one, I probably could, like if I really fucking devoted my mind to it, like you say that you do, right? But at the same time, it's like I get into that I don't know if I would be able to, like you're saying, the mental discipline's got to be there, right? Like what's like the biggest thing that you think you need to overcome to continue that schedule? Not even just waking up at 4 a.m, because if you set your body to that schedule, like you get into it, right? Like that's
no, you can condition yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
It becomes a norm, right? Like without an alarm, I'm up.
Yeah.
Right? Like my body knows it has to get up. It's like I'm nothing special. Anybody could do this. It's very simple, right? It's just whether or not you're willing. See, like staying up late, like doing stuff that isn't like necessarily productive or like conducive to what you want. Like, you know what I mean? It's just a pleasure.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a pleasure like anything else everyone's chasing, right?
Yeah.
It's something you could cut out of your life, right? And it would help you out. It would give you more time, number one. Yeah. You know, to do things that are, you know, more productive. Not to say they're not productive, but like steps in the right direction.
Yeah. I want to know like I've known you through high school, and for sure you weren't the way you are now. Not saying that's a bad thing, but like you've changed obviously, right? I want to know like when did this start? Sort of this change of like mindset and mentality going into sort of like what you want to do and things like that.
Yeah. It's probably happened.
It did change though, right?
Years.
But it did like you
of
can,
course,
you can say that you went through a period where
1,000%.
Yeah,
1,000%. I went through a period where I did a fuck ton of introspection and what I wanted and how I was acting. Yeah. Right. And I didn't like it. Yeah. Right? I didn't like it, and I had to come to grips with that. Right. But this is like I'm just throwing it out there, right? But it's like a lot of people have this, right, in their own way. But I just had to rectify some of the things I was doing. I didn't like it. I didn't like the way I was treating myself. I didn't like the way I was treating others. And the way you treat yourself is the way you treat others. And it's like it all ties in. Yeah. Right? So I said no. I was like, it was enough of that. And then I turned to like certain things. Like Stoicism helped me a bunch. Like certain leaders, like certain people, not leaders, Freudian slip. Certain people like Jordan Peterson, like helped me tremendously.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then certain like fitness leaders as well. Like this gentleman named Watson, like he helped me like tremendously, like just get my mind right. And then I was inspired, and then I changed because I called my own bullshit. Yeah. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
So then once you get past that, you can understand yourself better, and then you can understand other people better.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's actually crazy. So I want to like, is sort of your bullshit that you like that you say, right? Is that sort of like, going back to your social media and the way you've been posting, getting the courage to sort of post vlog style videos, right? I know you, even in your first one, I saw it not too long ago. There's like, I feel like a fucking, like a D-bag post or whatever term you use. Like a jackass? Yeah, like a jackass fucking recording in front of the camera and shit like that, right? That takes a lot of courage, right? To start there, like what was sort of like the push? Yeah. I would listen to the rest of the videos, and it was like, giving people the knowledge that are on your that are following you and things like that. So what was sort of the push into, let's get this on social media a little, just to sort of spread the word? Or
well, it's helped me.
Right. Yeah.
It's helped me tremendously. So, I mean, I could just not say anything and just continue life.
Yeah.
Or what I could do is share it. I can share it with other people who might need it.
Yeah.
Like, you'd be surprised. Like, it's out there content. I know. I'm well aware. It's not like conventional stuff that people post, but there's people out there that like need this.
Yeah.
Like, I've had people like reach out. They told me like their personal issues, like their deepest, darkest, like everything, really? Saying how much they needed this, and like that's because I was exact same way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's crazy. Yeah.
So it's like I'd be doing like people a disservice. this message is not gonna hit everybody. Some people are gonna be like, what the fuck?
This guy's fucked, yeah.
Yeah, this guy's definitely fucked. Like, he's on something, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, no. Certain people are gonna understand this message and certain people aren't. Certain people are gonna like it, some people are not gonna like it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's simple, but you can't please the masses, right?
Yeah.
You can't please absolutely everybody. Right,
but it's those that you are like reaching out to and that are having an impact. So that makes you like
totally.
Yeah, does that give you like some sort of feeling? I feel like that would be.
It's just beautiful in a way, because it's like, fuck, I was exactly like you.
Yeah.
I was and I needed this just as much as you did, and like my pain, your pain, it's all the same, right? And like, problem with social media is, I feel like it's all bullshit. A lot of it is, right? And it's the wrong way to go about things. And I just want to get raw and real. And like, I'm still like at the early stages of what I want to post. Like, I really want to get into depth.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, like I'm still treading on the water, right?
Yeah.
But I want to start sharing like what really, really changed my life, right?
Yeah. So like, when you talk about like people reaching out and things like that, I feel like there's a lot of people, especially that I've known in general, that have sort of goals or aspirations that sort of get drowned out by whatever they're doing at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've spoken to a lot of people that, let's say they've had a career in, or they want a career in, one example is sports therapy.
Sure.
Right? Sports therapy is one. I know this guy that has been doing, went to school for kinesiology. He was very passionate and things like that. Now he works part-time at a electronics store. Right? Like he's moving into that, and it sort of just takes away, like, I feel like there's a lot of people that are drowning out a lot of their time that could be spent doing something that's like what they want to achieve, rather than, that's what I feel like most, rather than something, there's been something that I can't like stop doing or whatever, whether it's drugs or negative things like that. But I feel like it's more, I'm doing this right now, and I can't do this because I'm doing this. Like I can even say that personally, right? Like my job, my schooling, my everything is, if it was up to me, like my life goal would be go on, take travel videos and edit videos and things like that, right? Going crazy. But there's things that get in the way, obviously, that you can't just put aside. Well, some people deem as cannot be like put it, like, you know what I mean, like as first priority.
Sure.
Just because that's what like either your family or your values wants you to think, right? Like that's what, do you agree, or you think of it very differently?
No, to a certain extent, like I get it. Sometimes the circumstances are the circumstances.
Yeah.
You might need to do them temporarily. But a lot of people, what they do is they self-doubt. But they self-sabotage, but they don't really know it. Right? They like negotiate with themselves.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I can't do this because this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
But it's all bullshit. Right? If you really wanted something with enough conviction, you'd do it.
Yeah.
Like really wanted it. You only kind of want it. Or you believe in yourself, sort of.
Yeah.
That's the problem a lot of people face. Right?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's getting your self-confidence and yourself up there. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
And that's what I feel like the people need. Like, I needed it. Yeah. I'm assuming there has to be another person on this world that needs it. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And that's being like, I think majority of the world needs it.
Yeah, a lot of people, yeah.
You get what I mean?
That's why I talk about it a lot, actually. I've talked about on not only this podcast, my previous podcast, I talk about like you're saying, that self-confidence just to overcome what you think is at the time sort of like what you need to do. Yeah. In a way. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like just to overcome that, like, I have to do this right now because I have to do this right now, rather than just I want to do this. And sort of that not 100% like initiative into doing something that they like really want to do, right? But that's kind of great. Like, would you say that you're fairly young to have come to this realization, or was this the perfect time for you to get to this mental state and forward?
Good question. That's a great question. No, I think it was the perfect time. To be honest, I didn't have much role models growing up, right? Or none that I wanted to be like. Yeah. So I searched elsewhere. And this is where I came across all this information. This is where I adopted my mindset, right? Because everyone, it's weird. Everyone, I pass by people on like an everyday basis, and I'm like, holy fuck, you're a genius, or holy shit, like you're funny as fuck, like yo, you should be an entertainer, or you should be like, but like they don't see it. Yeah. It's beautiful. It's crazy. It's like, you don't see it? Like, how do you not see this? Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's like a lot of people drowned out their dreams. They drowned out their talents with a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not trying to tote inspirational. Like, I want to personify everything I say.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not one of those guys who just says it. Like, I want to show it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I took a huge leap, moved out of the house, got a completely new commission-based job, trying to brand myself as something I want to be.
Yeah.
Full conviction, full throttle, drop the clutch. I don't give a fuck. Right? And yeah, is it hard? I'm still in school full time. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like, I got like 1,001, and it's like, to some people that's a warm up.
Yeah.
Like, this is nothing to some people. To some people, like, whoa, I could never. But to certain people, it's like, yeah, that's my breakfast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's all subjective.
Yeah. There's a lot of like you speak to some people. I've spoken to a guy that not only works out every day, this guy that I knew from college, he works out every day, he's in school full time, has a full-time job, and he's running like 3 side businesses, right? Like, you only know how much is on your plate if you're looking at your plate and not the whole table, right? Like, there's a big, like, I've heard that saying before, like, look around the other plates around you or something like that. You don't really realize, like, there could be so much more that you could be doing, right, until you actually do it. But I want to know, so moving into,
Tell me.
You talk a lot about inspiration through love and your love of things. I want to know, like, what sort of love does that mean for you? Like, love for what you're trying to achieve, or the love that surrounds you to push you in that direction? I want to know sort of that.
I'm a big believer in that you attract what you are. Okay? And I'm a huge believer in self-investment and creating self-love. Like, cultivating self-love.
Yeah.
And then once you do that, you can give it out to other people. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
You could be that person for your partner, for your brother, for your mother, right? Like, that's what it's for. It's to build up the person to give away to someone else.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I get that.
if everyone thought it was just for them, there's 8 billion of us fuckers on here. Like,
Yeah,
if everyone thought like that, like, what would happen?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just for me. Like, it's just me. I just want to do me. I just want to live my best life. It's like, it's not even like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, you want to be the person that someone else may need.
Yeah,
Someone
exactly.
you may love may need.
And it translates, right? It can almost translate instantly from just strictly from a business perspective rather than sort of like a family like oriented perspective. I think that like that goes so much further than someone who is more like, let's say I was a boss or I was a manager here or whatever, and I had a inferior or whatever you want to call it, someone below me that was really focused on themselves. They're driving themselves, like they put in all the hours, they're doing all the shit for themselves, right? But I would rather have somebody on the team that would make the rest of the team better, if that makes sense.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a way to like network your abilities in order for other people around you, not just your parents and your family, right? But everyone around you. Like, I've done it like specifically. A specific example in my life is like Falk One. Shout out to the fucking merch. Where is it? Right?
Yeah,
like
Falk.
you like my relationship with him is, how can I help you be your better self, right? Like, it's not sort of like you need me. Like, it's not like, oh, I'm doing this work like because you need me. That's not the way it works, right? It's sort of like, what can I do to help you? Because then you fucking make it. This isn't always about me.
Yeah.
You could kick me to the curb after, but you'll always know that I was there if I ever needed help. That like it just sort of translates. It's not always for myself, right? Like, I want, like, do you think that sort of way, or is it just more like
it really is?
You're on your own journey, and then sort of whoever catches a vibe can relate and move on with their journey, if that makes sense.
Okay. Whoever catches a vibe can relate.
Not really a vibe, but you know what I mean? Like, do you think it's more of like you're doing these things to push people in the right direction, or
like I'm trying to be my best person for the world.
Yeah.
Like, I want this conversation. I want you to feel good talking to me.
Yeah.
I want you to go away and be like, oh, bro, like that was a refreshing conversation, right?
Yeah.
But if I'm like projecting negatively, if I'm like, you know, like you know, rude or like, you know, aggressive, it's like, how are you gonna enjoy that? You're not. It's like, so try to put your best version of you out every day.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what I'm after. With the whole process, like, that's what it does.
Yeah, I guess.
You know what I mean? Like, let me give you an example. Like, when you wake up early in the morning and you just stack a bunch of W's, right?
Yeah.
You come around 9, 10 o'clock, you feel like $1,000,000.
Yeah.
You can't help it. Life's gonna fucking throw you bullshit because life is tough, and I'm never one to say it's not. Life is suffering, and that's not even being cynical, right? Life's gonna toss you a bunch of shit, but you can't let that confidence die down because it's too real. Like you earned it. Like you earned it so hard that morning that like no one can take that away from you.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah, there's not enough L's to mask the dubs.
There's not, and there's gonna be L's. Like I'm not one to say there's L's. I take L's steady.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? I'm cool with that. But it's like you got to build the right person to be able to eat those L's.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's hard. It's like I got to give up a lot of things. Like I stopped drinking. I stopped doing any types of drugs. I used to love doing like mushrooms.
Yeah, not to like out you a bit, but yeah, you were like someone that not a fucking druggie, but you did do them like frequently.
But I had to be that to be this.
Yeah.
I had to understand that side to understand the other side.
That's crazy that you said that. I said those exact words about the way I switch programs. That's fucked. It's that last thing you just said. What was the last, like, you have to be
the polar opposite.
Yeah, essentially.
To understand.
Essentially, that's what I said when I first, people ask me, they're like, because I switched programs. I was originally in architecture, and now I'm in, a lot of people know I'm in media, I'm in film production. They ask me like, oh, so that 3 years was for nothing. Like that 3 years of a degree was for nothing. And every time my only response is, without those 3 years, I wouldn't have known to gone into this field. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's
happens
fucked.
For you. Like everything that happens is literally meant to teach you something.
Yeah.
Everything that happens. That's why you don't contest what the hell happens to you. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like, if life needs to deal you a lesson, it will, at its own time. And all those actions led up to that lesson. Take it for what it is and move forward.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that. That's fucked.
Yeah. It's pretty deep. I don't know if it's that deep, but like.
Nah, it is. In a way, it is. Like, I think it's the way you take it, right? I think there's, you can look at it sort of like not as deep as you want, or sort of like a way that you just, like you're saying, like you preach a lot, like acting more than just thinking about it, more than just talking about it. Like I can sit here and tell you how much I want to fucking do travel vlogs all my fucking life, right? Yeah. Until I go to Dubai and India and places across the world and actually do things like that. Like I've been talking fucking shit the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean?
Not to say you will, but like,
you know what I mean?
The universe, it responds to direct action.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing in between.
Yeah. That's crazy. I mean? Yeah, it's fucked.
That's why, like, when I preach, I'm gonna show you everything I do. Like, I'm gonna stay consistent because I don't wanna talk a game.
Yeah, the actions like speak louder than words. Yeah,
and I want to show what that does. Like, that's my whole goal. Go ahead, man.
No, I'm good. No, I was just looking because I have this thing's popping up on.
No worries.
Yeah, no, I do agree in many senses. Like I said, like even giving that example, but this sort of like way of living that you express, right?
Yeah, is
obviously something that you want to be sustainable, that you want to sustain for a very long time. But is there a possibility that this lifestyle changes, or this not sort of like
evolve?
Evolve, but like
I've been asked,
yeah. I want to know, like, what do you see? Like, what's the future for it? You know what I mean?
The thing is, I know what it does for me personally, and I can't guarantee anything, but like what it could do for a lot of people, I would never give it up.
Yeah.
Like if it was up to me, like unless I'm like paralyzed, like I don't know, like I don't see myself giving it up because there's too much utility in it. It's like this does so much for me. Yeah. Like it helps me tremendously. It helps me.
You can't see yourself getting into like a situation. Let's say you did have a different career path. Eventually you were forced to get into something more 9 to 5-ish or whatever. You know what I mean? Like that scenario for you doesn't seem realistic. It doesn't seem like you would ever achieve something like that.
It's not my reality.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I can't see it. I wouldn't be happy. That's not who I envision. Right?
Yeah, I think the same way.
Everyone has to follow their vision. Like, who do you imagine yourself to be?
Yeah.
Actions towards that person. That's for you to know, right?
Yeah. So what is that vision that you're saying to follow? Like, what is the one of yourself? Like, what do you see it as? What does that initial, like right now? I know you used to talk about like the future's a mystery and the past history and things like that, and the present is like the moment, right? But I think at one point you do have to think of the thing, and what does that vision that you're talking about like seem to you, in a way?
I'm chasing the person that I needed growing up. That's it.
Yeah. So like that could be a lot of things, right? Like I feel like there's no set sort of like scenario until everything sort of unravels.
Totally.
And there's never that set scenario ever because it's always changing, right? I feel like that's a big thing too. You don't really have like, let's say I want to direct a film. I don't see myself exactly sitting in a director's chair in 50 years. No, like I can, but like under the circumstances, will it happen? You know what I mean?
That's the issue a lot of people face.
Yeah.
If it's not you, who else is going to be?
Exactly.
Who else is going to be? Realistically.
Yeah, but not saying like I don't want to achieve that.
No.
You know what I mean? But saying rather like by that time, like I'm saying projecting when I'm 50 or when I'm whatever, right? By that time, who knows what? Like I want something to be in that spectrum sort of. But if something greater were to come along, if I were to put in the extra work and do something greater than that, you know what I mean? Like I feel like that's a laneway that people don't think of a lot. It's sort of more like, how am I just going to provide for my family? Whether it's sitting in front of a fucking desk or sitting in front of a computer. Like I think of it as more of what's the best possible outcome for myself, and then what's the best possible outcome of that person. You know what I mean? Like the best version of myself. I want that version of me to think, what's the best version of myself, and then that's the version I want to be to infinity times. If that makes sense.
Yeah, like you're like happily dissatisfied. Like you're always chasing the next best person.
Exactly, but which
is good.
Is good, but I feel like that in a way is that like you mentioned, like that word dissatisfied, right? Is
but happily dissatisfied.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like
you're okay.
Do you feel like that term is? I don't know. I'm kind of like iffy on that term because I feel like
the chase ever ends, man.
Yeah,
I don't think the chase ever ends.
But do you get sort of like that worry of that satisfaction will never come?
I'm not looking for it.
Right.
It's always progressive. I'm not necessarily looking for an end result.
Not even that you're not looking for it, but is it necessary?
No.
No, right?
No. It's never. Thing is, people about potential, you don't really know what you're capable of.
Yeah.
No one really knows. No one will know. It's literally endless. Every person. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So a lot of people put a cap like I just got to get like a corporate job and hopefully I can make 6 figures and provide for a family, have an average 2.4 kids, 1.6 dogs. Like, a lot of people think like that, which is okay. But the thing is, if that's what you envision, go for it. If that's not what you're after, don't do it. You have one life. Like, I'm not trying to be an inspirational speaker, but it's just like the way I see life. It's like
different.
You got one go.
Yeah.
Why would you waste it?
Yeah, exactly. Do you think like I often think of this to myself a lot. If there were people that weren't just satisfied that we're talking about with, I think we do need those types of people that are not saying that there's anything wrong with it. I talk about it all the time. People that are satisfied with providing for their children, making an honest living, working a 9 to 5, whatever they like.
Yeah.
And going with it, right? I feel like that's honorable in a way, and your children are very precious and things like that. But I feel like there is a way where, like an alternate universe in a sense that we don't like. We would have been so much more innovative, and things like not just technology, not just whatever, but things like all aspects like racism and discrimination in every way would be so much more evolved than we are right now. If there were, but obviously I think everything does happen like for a reason, and as cheesy as it sounds, but do you think that with more people that had this sort of mindset of I'm trying to be the best version of myself and not sort of take away from providing for your children and things like that all comes with.
No, that's not what I mean.
Yeah, but
yeah,
like, do you think that there would be more, or our society would be advanced in a way from people that took it from a mindset of I'm trying to be the best version of myself, I'm trying to exceed so highly that like I can't even like cope with how high, like,
no,
you know what I mean?
It's not necessarily that. Like, it's not like it could be anything. Like, if you're the best version of yourself, you'll be the best at anything you do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You want to be the best real estate agent? Be the best version of yourself first. That'll probably just happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You want to be the best fucking gigolo. Be the best version of yourself. Like I know it sounds fucked up, but it's like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? How can you expect? I'm not saying you have to go hit for like, you know, aim for the stars. Like you wanna be some next level, like uber successful next level. Like it doesn't have to be that extreme.
No, not that extreme.
Right?
That's not what I meant, but yeah.
But like anything, like you want to be like a really, really good landscaper. Be the best version of yourself. Be the person everyone thinks of. I gotta call that guy. That guy gets it done. That guy knows how to respect people. That guy knows integrity. That guy got the gas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's all it is.
Yeah, I feel like that.
Like if you're happy, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like that's fine. Like if you're truly happy, like you could literally be scraping gum off the floor.
Yeah.
Like power to you. You're happy.
Yeah.
You cracked the code. Like sick. Like that's what you want. That's fine.
Yeah.
As long as you're happy. Right?
Yeah.
Now,
the way
people have to be more honest. Like some people don't want to be, you know, working the 9 to 5. Some people want to be, for instance, traveling, making videos globally. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like those people.
Yeah.
The ones that don't take that leap into and sort of like they settle.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And don't have that like self-fulfillment.
That's a problem.
Right?
That's a problem.
Like the generations of those people over the years, I feel like if they were people that were self-fulfilled, I feel like there would be so much more development and like evolving, like the earth would evolve so much more and like exponentially faster, if that makes sense.
Probably.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what has caused like a lot of issues in a way. Not to get like so technical, but it's caused like I feel like we're like 50 years back of what could be, or more than 50 years, but what could be like a perfect society, like centuries down the line. You know what I mean?
No,
it's crazy to think about.
That's an interesting thought, but yeah.
It's hard to explain. Bro, I had that in my head like mumble jumble for so long, but I think of it all the time.
But that's a fair thought. Like,
yeah.
That makes sense. If everyone was operating optimally, yeah, we'd probably be much farther than we are as humanity, as a society. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think about that all the time. It's crazy. Because I think of that, then I relate to myself, right? Like, I want to be that, like, operating optimally, right? Like, I want to operate like that. Like, that's...
I feel like everybody wants to.
Yeah, but I feel like there's people that don't, right? Under some circumstances, whatever, but I feel like there is a sense of, like, fuck it. Like, I feel like there's some people that just say fuck it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can't say that there's not people that are just, like, too hard. You know?
Yeah, they could, but like...
Fuck it.
I don't know how you get fulfillment that way. Like, if you act like, oh, like, why am I even here? Like, fuck it. Like life's gonna be hard for you.
Yeah.
Like, how do you expect to, like, have, like a long, fulfilling relationship if that's the type of energy you have? Like, how do you expect to, you know, find fulfillment in anything you do if you just drag your feet through life all day?
Exactly.
So it's like, makes no sense.
Yeah.
But not for me to say. Like, I don't judge people like that. You know what I mean? It's just they choose on their own accord what they want to do, and that's that.
Yeah.
Like, all I know is I know what I want to do, and I could maybe share it, maybe inspire people to find out what they want to do, and that's it. Like, that's the baseline.
Yeah, I feel like I do that in a way too, but not sort of like judge people, but rather like I wish you saw like how much potential or what avenue you could go through. You know what I mean? Like I've seen that in people. Like
we know people like that.
Yeah.
To think about it.
Yeah, I know.
If you really start to think about it, it's like we know so many people.
Yeah, lots
who just settle and just stop. And
not even like settle and stop, because there's a point where like we're saying, like, yeah, you are happy. You want you hit your fucking whatever, you make whatever a year and you're happy with that, bro. More power to you. Like you're chilling. But what I'm trying to say is like people that are like, oh, I'm gonna be an artist. I'm gonna be a studio artist in Toronto, and I'm like, bro, you could be a fucking artist in the world. You could be selling your shit on fucking a gallery in France, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like I know people like that. Like, and it's just like you were saying before. Like they don't see it, right?
No. And sometimes you don't see it in yourself, and it's like it all works. It all works in tandem, right? I come across people that I literally think are objective geniuses. I'm like, holy fuck, you're a genius. They look at me like, what? I'm like, nah, bro. There's something about you. There's something really special about you.
Well, if they don't notice it, does that still make them a genius?
Good question. They end up like, I've had people where I've told like, bro, like you're objectively a genius, and he's like, they take me aside like, bro, I think so too. I swear to God, I swear to God, like, yo, I think so too, but like people don't see it. I'm like, nah, bro, I'm telling you, there's something about you.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, I felt it off of you. He's like, nah, bro, seriously, like what? Like, tell me. Like, it's like they just want people to believe in them because they don't believe in themselves. It's like, guys, like, well,
everyone's too focused on comparing ourselves and like, shitting on each other.
Yeah, you get back to social media, right?
Yeah. Like, you don't think I know, like, posting this content, people are going to be like, there's going to be haters.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be people like, what the fuck? But I get that. That's cool. Those are the same people that will typically hate across the board.
Yeah.
And it's just honest.
Yeah.
And it's obviously stemmed out of some other emotion.
Probably.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the truth. Because that's how, if I was hating, that's what it would be for me.
Yeah.
So as soon as I'm able to be honest with myself, I can understand the way people operate.
Yeah.
Understand you, understand other people.
Yeah, I get that.
You get what I'm saying?
I think we're going to wrap it there for today. That was great.
You like that?
Yeah, that was fucking awesome. It was a great convo. Matt, I want to thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me
Again. Adrian, this was great. Honestly, it was fantastic. Thank you for coming. Let people know where they can hit you up on social media one more time before you leave.
I'm at Adrean Belfrutto.
On
I don't even know
Instagram.
my social, to be honest. I'm just
Probably Adrian Belfrutto on
Belfrutto,
Instagram.
yeah.
Just type that in the search bar. You're chilling.
done.
If you're watching this episode, hit the links in the description. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram is all down below. If you're listening to the podcast, check it out in full video on YouTube. Other than that, that was episode 33. Again, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Adrian, this was crazy. Blew my mind for a little, or the whole fucking time. And that's it. We're signing off. We refreshed our feet so you didn't have to. Peace out.
Done.